Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. Today, we are taking on a pretty monumental task. We're breaking down one of the most dominant performances in recent Springbok history, the record-breaking 73-0 victory over a struggling Wales side in Cardiff.
Yeah, it wasn't just a win, was it? It was an 11-try demolition.
Yeah.
And, when you look at the raw source material we have, all the detailed player ratings, the tactical analyses, the reaction, it paints two very distinct pictures.
It really does.
We've got this one story of just overwhelming brilliance, individual genius, and then you have that moment of late controversy.
Exactly. So our mission today is to synthesize all of this for you. We're going to dive deep into those specific player performances, the 9s and 10s, that really confirm the Boks as the top team. But we also have to talk about that singular sour note of the match, that late red card incident that kind of stole some of the headlines.
And we've got analysis from all over the place, tactical insights, reactions from greats like Bryan, Habana, even some surprising commentary from Eddie Jones. A lot to cover.
Right. So if that sounds like the kind of expert, quick, and highly informed rugby analysis you crave, then make sure you subscribe to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dives right now. Just hit that subscribe button. You won't miss a thing. Okay, let's unpack this victory.
What's really fascinating here is that the sources don't just focus on the scoreboard. They focus on the individual decisions, the moments that really broke Wales's spirit.
Right.
The performance wasn't built just on momentum. It was driven by two or three players who delivered what the sources kept calling faultless or transcendent displays.
That's the key, isn't it? When you see a 73-0 score, you have to ask, who delivered that perfection? And the immediate focus, of course, it falls on the back line, specifically Andre Esterhuizen. He earned the perfect 10 rating, a 10.
A 10 is. That's just so rare in international rugby. But he earned every bit of it through sheer unrelenting physicality and accuracy. The Springboks attack coach, Tony Brown, he absolutely nailed it. He called Esterhuizen a one-man wrecking machine.
And you could see it. It wasn't just the barnstorming carries. It was that he consistently bent the line. He forced Wales to commit 2, sometimes 3 defenders just to stop him.
And crucially, it wasn't just his attack. He was rated highest for his defensive work, too. Big hits, winning critical turnovers at the breakdown. He was stopping any little Welsh attack before it could even get started.
It was almost like having an extra flanker operating at number 12, just pure power to dictate where the game was played.
You can't talk about Esterhuizen without immediately bringing in Sacha Feinberg-Mingo Mazulu, who was right behind him with a rating of 9. They're calling him the new golden boy of South African rugby, and the stats absolutely back that up.
A 28-point haul. That alone is incredible. 2 tries, 9 conversions. But the analysis we've got goes deeper than just the kicking, doesn't it?
It does. It was his control, his distribution that really stood out. The sources highlight this outstanding attacking display where he just seamlessly shifted between running flat to the line and using that skip pass.
Bringing the wide players into the game with genuine wit.
Exactly. And that 9 rating, it acknowledges that for such a young player, his composure and his game management were just exceptional. He wasn't just taking the points. He was dictating the entire pace of the attack, creating space that let players like Damian Willemse, who got an 8, just make these fine attacking runs from the back.
Right, and Willemse was vital. He scored a try, but his role was just that stability, launching those counterattacks. And you could see that high performance was just contagious across the entire back line. Canan Moodie, another 8?
Great composure from him. His try came from pouncing on a loose Welsh mistake, which just shows that high-pressure awareness you need in Test rugby.
We've got to give credit to Morny Vandenberg, too. Another 8, who was the crucial link at scrum half.
His service was described as excellent, but what really earned him that 8 was his attacking instinct. That sharp break he made.
Just before halftime.
Yeah, that try just before the whistle. That showed the huge difference in tempo between the two sides.
But you can't talk about that backline running wild without asking the fundamental question. Where did all that space and quick ball come from?
It started, as it always does, with a pack. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the forward 8 laid the absolute groundwork for this massive score. It was sheer tactical and physical superiority. Wales just offered no resistance.
None at all. Let's start right up front. Wilco Louw at tight head and Gerhard Steenkamp at loose head. Both earned 8s, and the sources practically laughed at how one-sided the scrums were.
The phrase they used was one-way traffic. Steenkamp in particular just maintained this dominant body position all day. He won penalties, secured vital possession.
And he got the first try, didn't he? A
Yeah.
fitting reward.
It was a perfect nod to the front row's hard work. And then Lou also crossed for a try from close range in the second half. It just highlights how much attack they got from that dominance.
And in the engine room, Ruan Norche, I mean, he was arguably one of the stars of the tour. He got a 9, and he put in a full 80-minute shift.
Which is just phenomenal for a lock. Nortje was the tactical commander of the lineouts. His performance was outstanding. He was marshaling the throws, making sure the box lineout was 100% reliable.
And that certainty let them launch their mauls, their quick phase attacks.
And he deservedly capped it off with his first test try. Johan Grabelar at hooker, rated a 7, was also described as brilliant, with his lineout throwing just pinpoint accurate all afternoon.
And we can't overlook the workhorses in the back row. Captain Sia Kolisi rated a 7 and Jasper Wise an 8. They were just constantly in the thick of it.
Wise was one of the primary ball carriers. He used that power, that low center of gravity, to get quick ball. His try was a direct result of a powerful box scrum.
It shows that direct link, doesn't it? Dominance up front equals points on the board.
And Kolisi's leadership in defense ensured that 73 on their side was matched by a 0 on the Welsh side. Just relentless.
So, if you're enjoying this level of detail understanding, not just that the box won, but how each player contributed and why they earned their ratings, then you really need to be part of this community. Take a moment right now and subscribe to Rugby Obsession. You'll never miss a deep dive into the sport's biggest moments.
Okay, so now we have to transition. We have to talk about the event that sadly overshadowed some of this perfection.
Yeah.
As impressive as all that was, there was a pretty dramatic shift in the atmosphere late in the game.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because the sheer brilliance, the 11 tries, the near-perfect games from players like Esterhuizen, it all got overshadowed by that single incident. The one described as the sour note of the match, Eben Etzebeth's late red card.
Yeah, that indiscretion, right in the final few minutes, it definitely put a damper on proceedings. Etzebeth was dismissed by the referee Luke Ramos for an eye gouge on Alex Mann, and the sources are clear on this. Despite the score, Etzebeth got the red for what was called a brainless act and a moment of madness. And importantly, the referee's decision was deemed technically the correct one based on what they saw.
But the discussion around it just exploded immediately, didn't it? Starting with his own captain.
Right away. Sia Kolisi jumped straight to Etzebeth's defense after the match, stated emphatically there is no way the veteran lock eye gouged on purpose. He was suggesting it was accidental contact in the heat of the moment.
And this is where the expert opinions just diverge so fascinatingly.
Completely. Bryan Habana weighed in straight away, and he predicted a lengthy ban, just given the optics and World Rugby's focus on player safety.
But he did add that qualifier, didn't he?
He did. He was quick to stress that the incident, shocking as it was, does not diminish his greatness over a long career.
Then on the other side of the fence, you have a totally contrasting view. The sources quote Eddie Jones.
Yeah, the former England coach who believes the eye gouge was, and this is his phrase, a minor incident.
A minor incident.
He suggested the zero-tolerance policy might be overreacting to what was a clumsy action, not a malicious one.
And that creates a real dilemma for the Springboks. Rassie Erasmus gave a frank assessment, suggesting the team understood the severity and the potential bad PR.
Regardless of intent, yeah. And it raises an important question. A ban is certain, but the analysis suggests the suspension might not be for as long as you think, maybe reflecting those divided opinions.
It's important to note, though, that even with that messy final act, the box depth shone through. The substitutes, rated a collective 7, they maintained the intensity.
They did. They ensured the score stayed 0 for Wales, even though Etzebeth's indiscretion became the only talking point by the time the final whistle blew.
So what does this all mean? What's the takeaway here?
I think the key takeaway is this extraordinary quality, this dominance, right?
Yeah.
It's exemplified by the near-perfect scores from guys like Esterhuizen and Feinberg, Mongo, Mazulu. And that almost flawless excellence is contrasted so sharply by the singular controversial action of their biggest star right at the end of the game. It's brilliance and madness side by side.
The sources confirm the Springboks are officially cemented as the top team in the final 2025 World Rugby standings after this. So this victory affirms their dominance for the whole year, which raises an important question for you, the listener, to think about. How does a single negative late action that moment of madness, affect the legacy of an otherwise flawless year for the #1 team in the world?
Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts on the Etzebeth incident. Was this truly a moment of madness that warrants a long ban, or do you align more with those who say it was a minor incident?
Send us your opinions, and if you found this conversation insightful, make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession for more in-depth knowledge delivered quickly every single time.
Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we'll look forward to you listening to our next episode.